Hi, welcome to Embedding Creativity in LibGuides, Part 3. I'm Meredith Kostek, Research Instruction and Engagement Librarian at the Boley Law Library at Lewis and Clark Law School in Portland, Oregon. This third part, we're going to talk about interactive Google Slides. I created my first interactive Google slide for my class based on Joy Heracardio's CaliCon presentation from 2021. Her presentation was about converting their current in-person escape room to a digital escape room. I used the idea behind that using Google Slides and Canva Pro, and I use Canva Pro for pictures and background removal. You can also make amazing interactive slides for your classes and your website. The first example is the first thing that I came up with using this interactive Google slide. It is a secondary source choice and a classroom activity. What I did was I took the language act of God and I found a bunch of secondary sources that all interacted with the term act of God. What this is an interactive slide. Each one of these things, such as my cat Pidge, and myself and the computer and all of the different books. Here's a law review, here is a reporter, here is an ALR. Those are all clickable functions that then take you somewhere else to read more about that information. If I click on the ALR, it takes me to the Westlaw version of an ALR about act of God and unavoidable accident. So I can then read about that. And then I can go back and then I can read a law review article about act of God. And here we are on Hein Online, sudden illness as a defense in auto accidents. So this one slide that I created as an interactive slide allows the student to compare all of the different ways a secondary source talks about act of God. So that is the basic idea of interactive Google Slides. How can you use these on your website? One way is to create an interactive library map. Here we have a map of our library and our holdings here, and each one of these things is clickable. So here we have the printer, and when I click this, it takes me to the website about information for students about the printer and IT on campus. At circulation, it takes you to your circulation guide, fines and fees, your different loan periods, and all of the different things, and all of these are clickable in some way. So I've created this map and I've created all of the links to that map. Another way to do it is all the items that we can check out at the library. And so here is an interactive map of everything you can check out at Boley. So each one of these, let's go ahead and click on that, takes you to the special collection and all of the different things that you can check out at Boley. So this is a way to make your website interactive. Here are the basic steps for creating an interactive slide, and then we'll go through a demonstration of it. The first thing you're going to do is use a Google slide presentation. You're going to set a background as your picture, and then you're going to fill it with the different objects. I use Canva's background photo editor, but you can use any photo editor that removes backgrounds from your picture. You're going to draw then a transparent box over your objects and hyperlink that box to your interactive element. When you're finished, you copy and embed that code of this single slide using that file, share, and publish to the web. Then you place that embed code in your LibGuide box using your media widget. And then all you have to do is let your creativity run wild. So let's go ahead and look at an example. Here I have a blank page. And what I want to do is, first of all, go to my layout and select blank. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select a background. And what I want to do is choose an image for this background. I'm going to do something about voir dire, so I want to see a jury box. I go ahead and select the jury box and insert it here. Select done, and now I have a jury box ready to go in that field. I want this as my background instead of a picture that I've overlaid, so I don't have problems with it moving as I am creating on top of it. So here is my jury box. Now I want to fill it with jurors and maybe an attorney. And I think what I'd like to do is also put a briefcase in there. And the briefcase is going to have instructions on how to choose a jury that I found on YouTube. So let's go ahead and do that together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go to Canva, and I like to do all of this on Instagram post because it gives me a square start page. So I'm going to use my Instagram post, and I will go to Elements. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and look at my recently used, and I have this gentleman that looks like an attorney to me, and I'm going to take that. And the first thing I want to do is I want to edit the photo and remove the background from it. Even though it looks like it doesn't have a background, it really does. It has a little bit of a shadow and a little bit of everything else. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to download it, and I am going to download it as a transparent background. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Now I also said I wanted a briefcase, and so we have that image saved. So let's go ahead and look for a briefcase. I think this is a pretty great briefcase, but you notice that the background is there. So we want to get rid of that background. We'll go through that same step, the photo editor, background remover, and now I have just the briefcase. I will do that same thing, download it, and transparent background. We'll go back to our original slide, and now we're going to insert each one of those people into our slide. All right, I have everything in my photo that I want in my photo right now, but let's make everything the right size and where we want it. So let's make our briefcase a little smaller, and we'll put our lawyer kind of contemplating voir dire right there. I'll crop it a little bit so that it is reflective of the size that I want him to be. And now I'll move the briefcase over here to his feet. Now, the next thing to do is to draw a box around the item that we want to hyperlink. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a shape. I'll use a shape that is similar to the shape of what I'm trying to draw the box around. So here is the briefcase. And then you'll see that it is gray. We don't want that. We want a transparent. And we want the border to also be transparent. And now we just have a clear box over top of our briefcase. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab our video. And here I'm going to take that share link, and I don't need the embed code this time. I need the URL. And so I will come back with that URL. I will go to hyperlink, and I will hyperlink it inside that box. When I click on that as a user, it will go to the video. Here I have everybody in with the briefcase and our gentleman. I've added some facts. I've added 6 jurors and information about each one of those jurors. And so remember how we take a Google slide, we go ahead and go to File, and then we go to Share and Publish to Web. So let's go ahead and jump to our LibGuide so that we can see this. I've grabbed the embed code. So we have the embed code, and we'll go to the media widget, and we'll name this jury. So we'll save it, and there it is. So let's go ahead and look at it, and now we can interact with it. We can interact with the facts. Here are the facts, Clayton v. Jones, all of that. We have the video. And we have information about each one of our different jurors. Here we have Felix Fitzsimmons, who is a part-time tattoo artist that has a large following on Instagram. And we can see how that has to do with our facts. So now the student can decide whether they're going to make a preemptory challenge to one of these or exclude one of these jurors and why. So you can look through that and create something for them on their website. You really can let your creativity run wild with something like this. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me through email, and I'd love to hear how you use these ways to create creative LibGuides for your school.